been 16 weeks of this year. That's wild. So yeah, this week was both productive and also feels like nothing has happened, which is a weird combination. But I had my suitcase rummage, so I had my first market stall, which I mean, if you've been watching all of these, you know that I've been talking about wanting to do one for ages. So yeah, that finally happened. Candy singles were my most popular item. So that happened on Wednesday. I'm recording this on Thursday. I was too tired yesterday. Um, but I've been making some singles to replenish, so that's what all these are. I also kind of splurged a bit on some like funky different beads for texture, so like things like the stars and hearts and such. I also got some glow in the dark beads that actually glow in the dark. I am skeptical of anything that says glow in the dark because I've been burned so many times. I remember I got these like loom bands that I was really excited about, but they didn't actually glow in the dark. And then anytime something that like says glow in the dark actually does, I'm genuinely shocked. I have a couple of things that glow in the dark. Like, I have my Twyla Monster High doll. Her stuff glows in the dark. Like, I'm pretty sure her eyes also do. I also have, like, a Sonic thing on my bookshelves. It's, like, a little Sonic artwork that has glowing stuff, so it, like, throws me off every time it's dark. But, yeah. I also, over the weekend, was able to get the limited edition Kingdom Hearts 1.5 remake mix. So I went to the, retro game shop, and I always make sure to check any Kingdom Hearts related stuff. And yeah, so I already have the 1.3 HD remix on PS3. That's what this is. But this version comes with a little art book. So you've got like the disc and then artworks and stuff. So it's got things like the old Sora, you know, like the beta design version where he was a lion. I was about to say a monkey, but I think I'm thinking of like Goku from Dragon Ball. So yeah, that slides in there. Because yeah, I was confused when I saw it there. I was like, why is that one $30? The 2.5 is only $10. And I was like, wait a second. That's the special version. So yeah, that's been really good. Because I also do have the Kingdom Hearts Ultimania, but it's a pretty big book. So this one's more convenient for like if I want to draw some Kingdom Hearts stuff, but don't want to take out the entire massive Ultimania. This one's a bit more convenient for drawing references. I can't put that back in the thing one-handed. But yeah, so I've made some candy. Still, I'm considering potentially swapping Unicore, so I've been helping out with a film. Kind of. So, it's because it's like a small film, and I wanted to make sure that all the important jobs were done by people, you know, being assessed and stuff. I'm not actually entirely sure what they need me for. Like, small films don't tend to need a lot of additional people, but I'm there, I guess, as moral support or like to bounce ideas off. So that's fun. We're filming next week. What else happened this week? So yeah, suitcase rummage was the main thing, and I'm really happy how well that went. There was so many nice people, so many really cool people. I've also met like lots of people with some funky fashion. Like there was just the other day, it was yesterday. I was coming home from like sort of uni, and near the bus stop, there was these people in like sort of like Harajuku looking fashion that I talked to, and like they were really nice. Next, so yeah, this week's been pretty good. I've still been like tired and stuff, but that's okay. Um, I also think it was this week that I watched Spirited Away. I've been watching Sex Education, so I don't have a lot of like movies and stuff to say that yes, I've watched. I've also just my internet's been a butthead, which makes it really difficult to do stuff. I've also started a new sketchbook, so I don't know where the other one. Oh wait, no, that might be it. So yeah, I finished this last one. I was gonna buy a super thick sketchbook, but they didn't have any at Spotlight. So yeah, some of these last couple of pages. I don't know, but a lot, I don't know when they were drawn. Yeah, those would have been a while ago. So yeah, I was drawing like Cloud from the Final Fantasy VII Ultimania, like remake. I mean, I don't know. I've had a bit of art block and stuff, so they're not great. I also drew Cloud as a cloud, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I've started a new sketchbook this week. So, you know, drawing some, like, different poses. I feel like my main difficulty is I have, like, too many lines everywhere. So I've seen, like, really pretty sort of concept art sketches. So, like, if you look at this sort of thing, like, you don't have those random extra unnecessary lines. Like, maybe it's just because they erase them. I don't know, I'm someone that's pretty lazy with erasing. But I feel like that I always have so much extra stuff that I just don't need. And I need, yeah, drawings with pen, because that's often recommended. I kind of draw with pencil like I'm drawing with pen. I erase as little as possible because growing up especially, I would often just lose my erasers, and I still do. So I'm very much in the habit of, unless I need to erase, I am not doing that. And then I was practicing sort of like drawing different poses and stuff, but then also turning them, into characters. So like Kyrie, did some with Sora as well. That pose was a difficult one. It's like sort of need a lot of foreshortening. Riku. So yeah, basically I would map it out in like pencil, the basic pose, and then draw with pen over the top of the character. So like I didn't have the, for example, like with this, I made Riku's coat too short, and I'm like, ooh, because I drew in pen, I couldn't just adjust it, and like his silly little things on his pants, I don't know what they are, they're like belts or something. I couldn't adjust it, and I'm like, ah. So yeah, also trying to write down notes about like what I think looks off about things, so I can possibly work on that. And yeah, this was another sort of pose thing. And then going, oh, well, like the chest didn't look right, and then drawing chest stuff, and then this was just a random Riku, and then drawing some, like, 10 minutes to draw different faces, so I did that. Then yesterday I didn't have a lot of time to sketch out, like, but this was sketching whilst at the uni. I also learned the hard way, like, because I've seen people where they're like, yeah, I'll just sketch out little people of, like, people walking past. It is so difficult to sketch people out when they're, like, walking by. Like, I didn't realize how difficult that would be. And yeah, then today I sort of did some stuff, like, so these were from here, because, like, again, all my devices decided spontaneously not to connect to the internet, which is really frustrating if you're trying to, like, have reference images and stuff. So yeah, I did some, like, little thumbnails of, this is artwork for Chain of Memories. See, to me, it's really obvious what the artwork is, but I have looked at, like, the art in the Ultimania and stuff. I am way too familiar with a heap of the official art that, like, to me, it's like, yeah, I know exactly what that is, but that's because, I've drawn them and stuff. And then this was sort of, yeah, so I started with layers of, like, highlighter for different things. And then I also mapped in some shadows. Like, the black outline is just because I thought that would look cool. There's no, I didn't need to do that, but I was like, nah, might as well make it look fancier. And then, yeah, drawing some little faces and stuff. And yeah. I don't know, it's really weird. I feel like it's funny that when I'm drawing, like, Nomura's stuff, my faces both look too sharp and too soft. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like, so I feel like I draw the actual head, I tend to draw a bit more blocky, but then, like, the eyes, I don't know, there's just, yeah. And then I was sort of, I've done it, maybe it was also this week. Actually, no, it would have been. Where did it go? I had a sketch of, like, oh wait, I know where it is, hold up. Let me grab something. Because actually, no, that's also an important, piece of the lore. So yeah, I'm in a server, and someone had drawn, like, a human version of Kingdom Key. So this is Wishing Star, which is the key that you get from Geppetto in Kingdom Hearts 1 when you, like, go in and out of his shop over and over again. So yeah, this is, because it's got, like, gears, so I gave goggles. I, like, sort of wanted to make it a bit more interesting with some, like, sort of shoulder padded shoulders and, like, a vest, because all the characters in, like, Pinocchio sort of wear these vests, and they have, like, patterns on their pants, and I went with stars. And the star charm is, like, the same as what Naminé has, so I made, like, this tie, big thick belt, because Kingdom Hearts. I was also kind of inspired by Varian from the Tangled TV show. I need to watch it. Like, I love the song Ready As I'll Ever Be, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna love Varian, aren't I? Like, when you just see it, I have the same thing with Hal from Hal's Moving Castle. Like, there are characters that I'm not familiar with them, like, I haven't actually seen the thing, but I know enough about them to go, oh, I'm gonna like this character, aren't I? This is gonna be a thing. And then I went to draw, oh, I don't remember what Mickey's is called. I think it's, like, Star Keeper or something. It had star in the title. I'm like, oh, well, one star's, like, Wishing Star, and, oh, it was, like, Star Seeker, I think. And yeah, I was like, but this face, I think I want to use this haircut for one of my other characters. Just get rid of the freckles, because, I was going to give, like, constellation freckles that would glow for for this, because I thought that could be cool for a space theme thing. But for what I want to use this guy for, the main character already has freckles. So he's going to lose his freckle privileges. But yeah, this is the ultimate weapon from Kingdom Hearts 1. So it's kind of meant to be a combination of Sora and Riku, because, the Kingdom Key was supposed to be Riku's. and Sora, like, it's now Sora's, and I thought that, like, it's basically just the most sword-like, so I kind of went for this knight design. Like, this is supposed to be wings, but I was too lazy to draw it with detail. I have, like, this, the scabbard's got, like, Sora's, crown chain. This is, like, the keychain design. Yeah, yeah, so, like, the face is kind of, basically, it's Riku's face with Sora's eyebrows and Sora's, like, fringe with, like, I guess, Riku's back. Honestly, I kind of like that combination for the face. I feel like Riku looks good with Sora's bangs. But yeah, I wanted it to be sort of a mix of both because, you know, I feel like that Sora's idea of his idealized self, you know, his ultimate form would be very much inspired by Riku. The Keyblade still sort of, like, has that moment of where it switches between the two. And yeah, it's also just fun to combine elements of both of them. And then I went to sort of draw Fairy Harp, which was basically just going to be Kairi in a, like, Kairi with thicker eyebrows, because, okay, so, the reason why I went for Kairi specifically is Kairi has this idea of, like, hey, Sora, please don't change, you know, we discover her in Neverland. I feel like that Neverland has sort of this connection with Kairi. There's sort of some similarities between her and Peter Pan, except she's less of a jerk about it. But, you know, like, they had these similar fears regarding growing up and stuff. But yeah, it just looks kind of creepy, and I don't know, the outfit. I don't like Peter Pan as a character. He sucks. And I drew Tinkerbell, because why not? But I made her a bit thicker than, like, normal, just because Tinkerbell to me reads as if she's supposed to be this full-grown woman, but then, like, her design doesn't necessarily look like that. Also, you can see some marks because, like, I did a drawing and, like, it kind of pressed through. And then yeah, I started working on a hypothetical beta design for Riku. So basically, Riku's equivalent to this. And I started with a wolf, because I'm like, oh, wolf, lion, they're kind of like opposite things. You know, drawing out the shoes and stuff. So I wanted it to look pretty similar, because there's a lot of key elements of, like, Sora's design here. It's just that, I guess, honestly, the one they ended up with just gets rid of the lion motif and is a lot more minimalist, I guess. This is very maximalist. This feels, I don't think that this is, that they would have lived on Destiny Islands if it looked like this. This feels like, to me, like a sort of rundown city. Like, this feels like maybe Midgar. I don't know where, Final Fantasy VIII takes place, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's also got a similar sort of thing. Like, this feels like maybe an urban, like, a sort of rundown city. This isn't giving cozy tropical islands vibe. And I also wanted to sort of, because yeah, okay, so like for Riku's description in the Jiminy's journal, it's the first thing it says is he's an islander, which has always been interesting to me, because, like, that's not what I first think of with Riku. Like, I think they're supposed to be indicating that, yeah, like, that, you know, he comes from the same place. But yeah, they really, I don't know, it seems like they put a lot more emphasis on where he's from compared to what I would personally. So I guess I wanted to kind of lean into that, so yeah, this was the first sort of, like, initial thing. So you can see there's basically, like, the same outfit, but just slightly adjusting things, a bit more animalistic, a bit more details and such. And yeah, I started off with a wolf, but then I decided a bat would be better. And then this is what I ended up with. So yeah, this is, I guess, Beta Riku. I don't know if he would have a different name, because I don't know if Sora went through multiple names. I don't know, I get the impression that Sora was kind of always Sora. Just, because Nomura seems to have some certain motifs and things that he really likes, and wind and sky seems to be one of them. I don't know, I can't picture another name you would call Sora. Like, Sora is a Sora. Riku, I can see potentially having another name. It also wouldn't surprise me if Riku never actually had a lot of variety in designs, because from what I've heard, Nomura is someone that typically designs characters in one go. Like, a lot of his like, some of his characters, like Sora, I think Cloud was another one from what I've heard from watching videos about his art, but most characters he gets at first go. It wouldn't surprise me if Riku fell into that camp. Because, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything of any hypothetical art. I don't know if it exists. If someone knows if there was a beta design for Riku, please let me know. I would be very curious to see that. So yeah, I kind of just basically went with a similar sort of silhouette, just adjusting some of the details, you know, stretching and shrinking things. So, like, the shoes are significantly bigger. We got wings now. Got the big funky ear. I also gave him sort of like those pirate beads. because I wanted to sort of make him look a bit more, I don't know, feral, animalistic, like lean into that sort of islander side of things, maybe to contrast with sort of Sora's very urban design. Like, I still wanted to give him some, unnecessarily details and stuff. I don't know, I was picturing maybe they live in sort of like a literal, like, sort of concrete jungle. So, like, picture like that wildness of like a jungle forest and things, but it's all like buildings and such. Like, so it's all like crumbling down. I don't know. Very different vibe to Destiny Islands. Because, yeah, I don't think that's where Sora lives. I don't, like, that's just not the impression I get. I feel like that, I still think it would be an island, like this very isolated, small sort of place, but less, like, cozy, more oppressive, I guess, so that you can understand why Riku really wants to leave. Because I guess one of the weirdest parts of, like, Kingdom Hearts is just how eager Riku is to leave Destiny Islands when it's like, Destiny Islands looks kind of great. Like, what do we not know about this place? So yeah, I also gave him earrings because, I mean, Sora has earrings and a lot of Nomura's designs just have unnecessary earrings. I considered giving him a tattoo so that there was stuff on his arms, but I couldn't think of any tattoo designs. I gave him a scar because I was thinking that maybe he's like, because maybe at some point he's had to like rescue Sora or something, and like, I don't know, just lean into that sort of more like rugged, cool, like this guy's done stuff, that kind of cool vibe. Um, and it would just like, I guess, also raise questions because it's like, oh, this really competent guy, like, how did he get injured, sort of thing. Yeah. I also put the little crown on there because I remember hearing that there was something where Oblivion, which has the little crown keychain, was at some point in development considered that, like, Riku would give him the charm. So I thought that, I don't know, maybe if it was in his hair and, like, he takes that out and, like, Sora attaches it to the Keyblade, is my thinking. I would also, to flesh out the story, would probably look more at the initial trailer. Like, look at basically stuff as far back in early development as we are aware of. But yeah, this is Beta Riku. I kind of like the ear, and I also gave him slightly longer hair just to make him have that more wild vibe. And I also just naturally tend to draw Riku's hair a bit longer than it actually is. And I found sometimes when I personally made characters is some details you kind of just gradually accidentally change over time. So maybe like his hair just like through development accidentally got shorter. I don't know if that's just because I suck. Maybe that's an amateur thing. But yeah, I remember I had a character whose shoes kept getting longer. So like they started off with pretty normal shoes, and then by the end of it, I had them with like those knee-high Converse style shoes. Just because I kept drawing them longer and longer over time. But yeah, that's basically this week. I feel like half of this video was just me talking about the stuff that I just drew. But that's okay. I want to get better at art. I've been kind of frustrated with it. I feel like this page also catches your attention just because it's got color and everything else doesn't. Like, that helps. I also do often decorate the covers of my sketchbooks, but I don't think I'm gonna have the sketchbook for very long. Like, this is more of I needed something whilst I was waiting to I want to get a thicker sketchbook, because I go through them too quickly, but I'm also glad this one isn't the thick sketchbook, because this has this, like, weird plasticky feeling paper. I don't know how to explain it. I have bought one of these before, and, like, yeah, when I went to draw, and I was like, oh no, it's this paper, I hate this stuff. But yeah, that's week 16. This year's going by fast. I have read some of a book. I'm actually, I think I read about 100 pages out of 400, which isn't a lot. Like, I can read quite quickly. Like, I feel like I need to lock in and get back into my reading, because I like reading. I also need to watch more movies if I'm considering swapping to film. Because just some things to do. And yeah, I've got my vitamin D tablets now, so hopefully my health will improve and I will be less tired, because yeah, it's like today I just spent most of it asleep because I'm exhausted all the time, and it's really annoying. Like, being asleep isn't particularly productive. I mean, it is, like, you need to sleep, but like, it's not exactly much to brag about.